Hi, welcome to this short introduction course about how startups grow. Right, I'll just run through the agenda that I want to go through with you today. First of all, there'll be a short introduction where I introduce myself and what we intend doing. Afterwards, I will explain the startup framework in detail. And finally, how I can support you as you grow your startup business. So we'll jump straight into the introduction. Hi, my name is John. I've been running my own business since 2008 and I was a freelance consultant for about 10 years before that. Growth for Startups exists so that I can help other entrepreneurs like myself start their own business as successfully as possible. This short introduction into how startups grow will hopefully be our first steps together in helping your business to succeed. To explain how startups grow, I'll be using a simple framework. A framework is helpful because it breaks the job of starting a business into smaller, more manageable parts. I clearly remember what it was like when I started my own business, where I was investing an awful lot of time and energy, and it was difficult to see exactly how much progress I was actually making as I was building the business. A framework is also helpful to help you understand at what stage your startup is at today. Then you can use that understanding to help identify the best place for you to focus your energy right now, today. And finally, a framework is useful to help you track your progress overall so that you can see that you are steadily progressing towards a successful build-up of your business. Right, that was more than enough about me. Now let's move on to the framework itself. So here we go, the Startup Growth Framework. The first stage is initial thinking. During this stage, you've got a pretty good idea that you want to start a business, but you're perhaps not quite so sure about what it could be yet. The next stage is idea development and selection. You've come up with some ideas, some of them you've thrown out, some of them you've decided, yes, these are the ones that you want to work with. They need to be developed, tested, so that you can make a clear decision about which idea that you want to take further and become your new business. The next stage is business creation. This covers everything from selecting the idea until your very first sale. This is a very big section, and later on in the more detailed slides I'll go into this in a bit more detail. A single sale clearly does not make a viable business, and so the next stage is to improve your business so that you have enough customers, enough sales, so that you can actually live off the income that's generated by your business and that it's profitable. For some of you, this will be enough, and that's fine. For others, you'll be looking to grow your business to reach the full potential of the business model that you've chosen. This will involve doing a lot more improvement work, not just focused on growing your numbers of customers, although obviously that will continue to be important, but to improve all areas of your business so that you can reach the full potential that your business model allows. The final stage, scaling. Any business model has some fundamental limitation built into it. Scaling is about how we go about moving past those limitations and finding a way to scale the business further than the original business model itself allowed. Right, so I'll go into the stage of initial thinking in a little bit more detail. As I said earlier, at this stage you have the desire or want to start your own business. You've got a vague idea of what you want to do, or maybe you've got none at all. It doesn't really matter. The real focus at this stage is to identify a few ideas which will have the potential to turn into your perfect business. In particular, the things that you need to be focusing on right now in this stage, in my personal opinion, is making sure that you do something that you love and something that excites you. Just working for money is probably not going to be enough to keep you really interested and motivated to be able to go through the entire process and the hard work that's involved in actually creating your own business. Definitely need to be thinking about your strengths and the things that you really enjoy doing. When looking at your strengths, I definitely recommend that you go and talk to your friends and family and ask them to identify your strengths through their eyes. I've seen it happen an awful lot of times that people take their own strengths for granted and say, but of course I can do that. Everybody can do that. Well, actually, no, they can't. And it's highly likely that you have developed some special skills or have some strengths which you take for granted, but your friends and family unrecognize. Once you've identified your strengths and the things that you really enjoy doing, then it's time to move on and see how could these skills be made into a business. Once you've selected a few potential ideas, each idea needs to be developed further. Once the ideas need to be developed, it needs to be checked as best you can to make sure that the idea can lead to a viable business. Ideally, you will want to check all of your best ideas against each other so that you can find out which one is most likely to work best for you. The things that you will need to be focusing on when you're looking at these are identifying your markets, having an idea of the overview of your intended market strategy, developing a business model. And to check out your idea, you're probably going to be looking at things like, do the financials work out? Can you build a very basic business case and see that if you look at the underlying assumptions, if they're plus minus 10, 15%, you're still in a position that you can actually be profitable in the business. Look for your competition. Are they doing well? If they are doing well, then that is a very good sign that the actual business model itself is working. Are there any significant barriers to entry into your intended markets? As an example, if you want to be a lawyer, then you need to pass various exams. You need to commit yourself to a large amount of time studying so that you can pass those exams. In other businesses, such as perhaps photography, there's an investment in equipment, investment in time in learning how to use it properly. Or it could be that you need a building or some other investment that you need to make. These are what we consider to be barriers to entry to your market. The higher the barrier, the less likely that it will be that you will have a large amount of competition. On the other hand, you need to get past that barrier and plan that into your idea. The next stage is creating your own business. Once you've selected your idea, you've decided which one's going to be the best for you, then you need to create that business. This covers everything right up and from the decision to go with that idea until you've made your first sale. If you're creating this business alongside your family and day job, then time management and commitment is potentially an issue. There are a whole mass of tasks that you need to finish here. First of all, ensure your family and friends support you. Make sure you can manage your time. If you need financing, get the financing sorted out as early as possible. Create a clear but flexible plan. As a minimum, make sure you know which tasks need to be done and the overall timeline. You're going to want to create your own marketing system, which ideally should be specific to your business. You want to design your business processes and test them, and you want to know where you are overall on the plan of creating your business, so you want to be able to track your progress. The next area, which I wanted to go into a little bit more detail about project planning. The business creation will have enough tasks that a project plan will be a real help to you. If you need extra external financing, then a project plan at this stage will be a significant part of your business plan. The approach that I like to take here is a top-down method, something actually called a work breakdown structure. What you need to do here is start at your major tasks, all of which need to be completed so that your business can start. Then look at each of those major tasks individually and break those down into smaller steps. And then, if necessary, take some of those tasks and break them down again. Ideally, you want to be able to have each task that goes into your actual plan of it taking less than a week to complete. Use a suitable project management method to help you. I definitely recommend something a mix between an agile project method with possibly with a Kanban board and an overview which has a more structured plan so you are aware of the complete timeline of your project. The next major area that I wanted to speak a little bit more about is your marketing system. Ideally, your marketing system should be specific to your business and it should support the success of your business. Things that you would need to be thinking about here are: what benefits do you offer your customers? What separates you from your competition? How are you going to create your sales channels or sales funnels? How do you create the marketing materials to support those sales channels and sales funnels? And also, from my point of view, vitally important, consider the type of experience that a customer should have when they buy from you. Is it going to be easy for them to buy from you? Is it going to be something where they feel as though they've been supported or they have support available if they need it? These kind of things make a big difference to your final sale. The last area that I want to look on before we move on to improvement is business processes. Your business processes, whether they're written down or not, describe how your business works. Some of the core processes that you'll need to be thinking about are generating new customers, which obviously is going to be part of your marketing system. How do your customers buy from you? Or if they're not buying because you're using a different business model where you're getting sales from affiliate sales or advertising, then how are you going to generate an income if it's not from the sale? Then, how are you going to deliver your product or service? Is it going to be a personal thing? Is it going to be an online package? Is it going to be a product which can be sent to the customer or delivered to the customer? Or possibly it's a restaurant and they need to come into your restaurant to be able to receive your product and service. A final area of business process is monitoring. Unless you're checking regularly to see how you are doing, it's very difficult for you to see how to improve. And so the monitoring of your financial success, operational performance, market growth, ideally customer satisfaction and feedback are all significant things which will help you to grow your business beyond your first sale. Now we move on to the stage of a viable business. So you've made your first sale. Congratulations. Go out, celebrate, have some fun. Now let's actually think about what it is that we need to do to turn that first sale into a viable business. This means that your income needs to exceed your costs, so your main focus is going to be on expanding your customer base. Above and beyond just expanding the customer base itself, it's also going to be extremely helpful if you can continually look at improving the fit between your product or service and the needs of the market. This will make sure that you end up with a positive customer experience, which means people will recommend you or people will come back and buy from you again. Okay, you've mastered that, so you now have a viable business. So you're in the comfortable position that you can live from the business that you have. Your income exceeds your costs. Excellent. For some people, that may be all that you actually wanted to achieve, in which case, fantastic. The next area, though, is growth. If you do want to grow, then obviously you want to continue expanding it anyway. But in order to get a viable business, then you've almost certainly got this area of your business under control already. The areas that you need to be looking at now are more in terms of the wider business sense. Instead of just focusing just on the customers, you now want to be looking at how can you improve your product or service? How can you improve customer retention and less focus on new customers? Improving your marketing system so you can aim to increase the value of each customer and further optimize your sales funnels or channels. You can also look at cost optimization and, if relevant, digitalizing. There may be parts of your process which would be better done in a digital form or an automatic form rather than some manual process that you have at the moment. And this is what we mean by digitalization. As I said, one of the last stage that we have here is scaling. You now have a very nice, highly profitable business. Fantastic. However, as I mentioned earlier, almost any business has a natural barrier to growth at some point. Your time, some critical expensive asset, such as a building or a special piece of equipment, or the area that your business can successfully serve. If you want to grow beyond that natural barrier, then you need to be able to overcome that. And this is what we understand under scaling. The focus area here is quite obvious. How do you actually get past the barrier? Some possible options here could be to take on more staff, to outsource some of your tasks, to create a partnership, create a franchise, or possibly rework your business model to be able for it to move on past the barrier that you have already.
Right, so now we've gone through the framework. The next question is, how can I support you in your journey in building your startup? Right, if I go back to each of the topics, the first stage in the framework was the initial thinking, where you wanted to start a business but you're not sure exactly what it could be yet. What we offer here is a short course, Find Your Perfect Business Idea, where you will look at your strengths and skills in a structured way to find an idea for your future business. The next section, Idea and Development. This is where your good ideas are developed, tested, and the best idea is selected. Where I can help here is with a viability check. Identify and check the assumptions that your idea is based on. Identify your minimal viable product. That's the minimum that you need to be able to test your idea and make sure that it's relevant for business. And model your financial assumptions. The third stage that we had in the Startup Growth Framework is business creation. This was everything from selecting the idea until your first sale. The areas where I think I can help best here are with project management for startups. This is a bespoke project management framework which I've built up specifically to help startups. The second area where I think I can help is with developing a bespoke marketing system together with you. This is an in-depth course that covers how to create an effective marketing system specific to your business. After your business has been built, then the next stage is improving your business so that it is sustainable and profitable. Here I would like to be able to offer you the marketing system again, just in case you have already built your business and didn't take the opportunity to use it earlier. Another option would be a creative thinking course. Here I deliver you a creative framework that you can use to improve how you can work creatively on improving your business. The next stage that we had was growth, enabling sustainable long-term growth to reach the full potential of your business model. How I can help here is with a course on fine-tuning your business. The goal here is to create continual incremental improvements to your business. A 1% improvement every day is over 300% improvement a year, and that will make a huge impact on your business. The final stage is major growth, overcoming the fundamental limitations of your business model. Unfortunately, I don't have a course that I can offer here, or I don't currently plan on developing one. So we're talking about a consultancy of working together to see how we can scale your business and identify the barriers to growth in your business and develop a strategy to help you overcome them. Right, that's everything from me in this Startup Framework course. I hope that you found it helpful. I would very much enjoy working with you together again in the future in one of the other courses that I've just mentioned. I look forward to seeing you there. Take care. Bye-bye.